Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
The U.S. House passes the Protect Life Act, and it causes quite a stir among Pelosi and even Kathleens Sebelius. We'll talk about it today on Faith and Freedom. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, the vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, this is good news on the House passing the bill, the Protect Life Act, passed by a vote of 251 to 172, and it would stop abortion funding in ObamaCare. This bill actually amends the federal health care bill known as ObamaCare to include protections against federal tax funding of abortion, as well as strengthening the conscience rights of health care providers so they don't have to be forced to participate in abortion. This is great news coming from the House of Representatives.
And liberals have become completely unhinged by this, which betrays their true motives, which we have been saying all along, that the intent with Obamacare was that unfettered abortion on demand would be available at taxpayer expense. All this bill did was strengthen certain conscience rights of medical practitioners, of pharmacists and so forth, to say that they cannot be compelled to violate their conscience and perform an abortion or issue, an abortifacient, RU-486 or some other. That's it. And it also says, again, clarifies that no federal dollars, taxpayer dollars, can be used to fund abortion. And so people like Nancy Pelosi lose their mind. She said that this was going to cause women to die on the floor simply because a doctor will not be compelled to perform an abortion. Hyperbole galore.
Yeah. Now let's take that for just a moment. I thought they were saying that the federal health care bill, Obamacare, does not fund abortions.
Right.
So if the House passes a bill that says they're amending the federal health care law to prohibit taxpayer-funded money from going to abortions, and it doesn't fund abortion anyway, according to Nancy Pelosi, why is she so upset?
It should be inconsequential.
She should have said, well, that was a nonsensical vote because Obamacare never funded abortions in the first place.
Yeah.
So you see what the duplicity of this group of people up in Washington is. They passed the health care bill, the Obamacare bill, and they say, well, it's not going to fund abortions. And President Obama is going to give this executive order so that no federal money will go towards abortions. Well, if that's true, then what the House did is absolutely irrelevant.
Inconsequential.
It's just a symbolic act.
Yeah.
So why doesn't Pelosi, who was Speaker of the House at the time, and she obviously knows what this bill does, assuming that she's read it so far, why doesn't she just simply say, that doesn't bother me because it never funded abortions anyway. But no, what she does is she goes off her rocker and she says that the Republicans are saying, quote, that women can die on the floor and health care providers do not have to intervene if this bill is passed, close quote. Now, that's just complete hyperbole. She says it's just appalling. I can't even describe to you the logic of what they are doing today. Well, the logic of Pelosi just absolutely escapes me.
Well, and listen to President Obama here. He said that he would veto this if it gets through the Senate. And why would he veto a bill
consistent with
his executive order?
Yeah, right.
Well, listen to what he says. And this just, again, betrays that they knew exactly what they were doing when they rammed this Obamacare monstrosity through. They knew that it would fund abortion. The taxpayers would be forced to facilitate abortion. They knew that it violated conscience rights. President Obama says this. He said he strongly opposes the bill because it, quote, intrudes on a woman's reproductive freedom and access to health care. What?
It doesn't say that you can't have an abortion. It
no,
just says
that there can't be
we, the
federal
people, are not
taxpayers.
going to fund your abortion.
And then he said H.R. 358 goes well beyond the safeguards found in the current law, and it reinforced the president's executive order by this was one of the congressmen restricting his spokesman restricting women's private insurance choices. If the president is presented with H.R. 358, his senior advisors would recommend that he veto the bill. This was in a statement of administration policy. What are they talking about? If the president's executive order is actually in force, there can be no taxpayer funding of abortions. That's all this bill did was reaffirm.
So you know that what he did, and all of that was just a bunch of
smoke
lying
and mirrors.
Rhetoric.
Yep.
All it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that comes out of this current administration is lying rhetoric over this issue of abortion and many other things. I mean, Kathleens Sebelius, who is the Secretary of the Health and Human Services. She was the former governor of Kansas, and she was tapped by President Obama to head up this.
She was pals with George Tiller, the
George
notorious
Tiller and Planned Parenthood.
Infanticide.
She hosted, and he was a late-term abortionist.
Yeah.
And she hosted events at her governor's mansion in honor of them. And even participated in a conga line dance to celebrate Tiller and Planned Parenthood. Now, this lady, who's our head of HHS, who, by the way, would be the person who is having all the wide, broad discretion to do a lot of things on these health care laws, and she's the one who ultimately gives all these waivers. So she has all this authority under this health care law, very radical pro-abortion. She's not just pro-abortion, she's radical pro-abortion.
Yeah.
I mean, she's really off the charts, hanging around, palling around with people that perform late-term, brutal, second and third trimester abortion. She said this. She spoke at the NARAL, National Abortion Rights Action League, Pro-Choice America event, and she accused Republicans of rolling back women's rights and the progress that they have made during the sexual revolution. And also at the 17th Annual Power of Choice Luncheon for NARAL in Chicago, she claimed that the Republican Party was anti-woman and that, quote, we've come a long way over women's health over the last few decades. She said, but we are in a war. So she says we're in a war for these abortion rights.
Well, the radical pro-aborts recognize that the writing's on the wall, that a popular opinion has shifted, that people are overwhelmingly pro-life now, and that this rite of passage of abortion into feminism is in trouble. And so to that extent, they may be right. Planned Parenthood, NARAL, the National Organization of Women, their talking points, NARAL, for instance, said that this is the, quote, let women die bill. I mean, the ridiculous hyperbole that they're using here betrays, again, that they're losing their collective noodle.
They won't acknowledge that there's always a death in abortion, and it's the unborn child.
Well, of course.
That is killed. They won't want to acknowledge that, though. Sebelius, talking to these pro-abortion people, advocates at this Power of Choice luncheon for NARAL, she said that the Obama administration is giving its undying support for abortion. She said that the president, quote, will be fighting with you every step along the way, close quote. That's from Kathleens Sebelius.
And this is the same president, don't let us not forget, who opposed Illinois' Infant Protection Act, essentially, which says that if a child is born alive, if an abortion is botched and that child is born alive, that the doctors have to do everything that they can to save that child's life. President Obama opposed that, saying that
when he was Senator of
Illinois, saying that interfered with a woman's right to choose. Her original choice was to kill the baby, so to try to save the baby once it's born alive, that should send chills down the spines of every person listening right now.
Fortunately, that law then, because it was blocked in Illinois, went to the United States, and the Congress passed it, and it was signed into law. So that is the federal law now, but Obama opposed it multiple times
version
in the state of Illinois, and that's why it was kicked up to the federal. And that's the President of the United States and his Secretary of Health and Human Services. Give us a call at Liberty Counsel at 1-800-671-1776. You can ask for The Patriots Handbook on American Liberty has the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the letter from Patrick Henry, Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death, and also an essay from me. You can order that book by going to Liberty Counsel's website. Ask for the Patriots Handbook on American Liberty. You can also call 1-800-671-1776. You can also become one of our fans on Facebook. You can go to Facebook /Liberty, Facebook.com/Liberty Counsel and like that page. That's our fan page. You can also text us for a contribution of $10, 20222, and in the subject line put down LC. Go also to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, and sign up for the Liberator, our newsletter, the Liberty Alert, our educational email, and our Grassfire Action email right there on the front page as well. For more information, or if you know of religious issues, life or family matters that need attention, give us a call today at Liberty Counsel.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.